Hello, good morning. Welcome to our Community Engagement, Solidarity, and Citizenship class or CESC. We are now on the quarter 1, week 2. I'm your teacher, Mrs. Lori A. Develos. At the end of this lesson, students will be able to, number 1, describe the community networks and functions. Number 2, analyze the functions of communities in terms of structures, dynamics, and processes. Number 3, appreciate the value of networks and functions of community. And the last one is discuss the community development process. Are you ready? So this picture represents our community. Since we all know that each and every one of us live in a community. So, the community has 5 functions. First, production, contribution, consumption. Next, socialization. Number 3, social control. 4, social participation. And mutual support. So, those are the 5 functions of community. So, how community involvement influences socialization? So, there are this what we call physical factors. So, you have the population, the noise, community design or arrangement, and housing and play settings. So, those are the physical factors. Of course, each and every one of us live in a house, diba? So, how many populations are there within your community? So, magulo ba? Maingay ba ang community ninyo? Diba? What are the arrangement of the housing or the design, no? Sa mga subdivisions or yung mga villages, there are these subdivisions or villages na kung saan iisa ang hitsura ng bahay. Of course, the play settings. Why is play settings important? Simply because, diba, as a child, sabi nga sa isang kanta, kailangan nila maranasang maging bata. And the place within your house or within your home is not enough, no, para makapaglaro ang isang bata. So, dapat as much as possible ay merong parke, diba, or may recreational area. Social and personal factors. The neighborhood setting, patterns of community services or interaction. So, napaka-importante ng neighborhood setting, diba? What kind of relationship you have among your neighbors. So, importante yon. Then, how do you interact with each other? So, diba, noong araw, ang magkakapit-bahay ay parang magkakapamilya din, di ba? Nagbibigayan ng ulam, kung anong meron ng isa, meron din ang kabila. Ngayon kaya, meron pang ganon. So, as much as possible, kailangan pa rin natin i-preserve ang ganong kaugalian. The community as a support system. We have the preventive services. We have the supportive services. We have the rehabilitative services. So, what do you think are the difference between each other? So, kapag sinabi natin preventive services, paano maiiwasan sa isang community or within the community yung gulo, no? So, hanggat maaari, iwasan. Then, we have the support. Each member of the community should support each other. So, hindi lang yung mga magkakapit-bahay, but the community itself. Kasi iba-iba din ang composition ng community. Next, we have the rehabilitative services. Okay, community structure. Community structure means the internal structure of an employment area, the town, city, neighborhood, or another urban area. It includes the population and housing, jobs and production, service and leisure time areas, along with transport, routes, and technical networks, their location and relationship. Now, kung kayo ay maghahanap ng isang lugar na matitirhan, ano ang unang i-consider dapat? I, for myself, kino-consider ko yung lugar ko Kung ito ba ay malapit sa simbahan, sa pamilihan, sa mga opisina, bakit? Kasi, advantage mo na yon, no? Katulad sa atin, dito sa Arenda, napakalayo natin sa kabihasnan, kumbaga. Diba? We need to pay for the transportation. Okay lang kung may service ka, paano kung wala, no? So, as much as possible, before you choose your location for your housing, see to it na naandun yung mga nabanggit, di ba? Malapit sa trabaho, di ba? Sa mga offices, yung paglabas mo, nandiyan na may pamilihan na, hindi katulad dito sa atin na kung wala kang pera, pamasahe, hindi mo pwedeng lakarin papuntang bayan. Community dynamics are the changes in community structure and composition over time. So, we all know na nababago ang composition ng isang lugar. Brought about by, unang-una, yung mga natural disaster. Baha, earthquake, typhoon, so yon. May improvement na nangyayari, di ba? Katulad dati, kung ang lugar nyo ay binabaha, time will come, magpapatambak kayo ng magpapatambak hanggang sa dumating ang punto na hindi na kayo babahain. So, nabago ang structure, di ba? So, yon. Community is a process. The importance of this as the fundamental principle of sociology, it is impossible to overestimate. So, yon. Community organization refers to organizing aimed at making desired improvements to a community's social health, well-being, and overall functioning. Ang isang community ay binubuo hindi lamang ng mga taong nakatira dito, kundi maging ang kanilang mga pangangailangan. Ano-ano yon? Health, education, and others. Community organization is a process by which a community identifies needs or objectives, takes action, and through this process develops cooperative and collaborative attitudes and practices within a community. So as a leader, for example, you should identify the needs of your community. Dito sa lugar namin, walang palengke. Diba? Pag-aaralan yon. Then, merong mga pwedeng sumuporta for your project. Pag-aaralan mo yon kung magmamaterialize ba yon, kung talagang kailangan ba yon ng community mo, then you have to do something. Ang daming pwedeng tumulong. We have the government. So, yon. Or, dito sa lugar namin, kailangan ng eskwelahan para sa mga kabataan. Diba? So, you need to conduct a survey. What are the things needed? So, yon. Kasama yon. So, these are the community development process. So, napakalinaw naman, no? Based on a picture or on the illustration. So, you need to have a team. Of course, hindi mo pwedeng gawing mag-isa ang anumang proyekto na gusto mong mangyari sa lugar mo. So, yon. Effective community development should be a long-term endeavour. Well-planned. So, pang matagalan, halimbawa, katulad ng binanggit ko kanina, kailangan namin ng eskwelahan. Paano ako magsisimula? Anong grade? Umpisa ba sa kinder or high school agad? So, kung mag-uumpisa ka ng kinder, dapat tuloy-tuloy yon. Kinder or the preparatory, elementary, and high school. Dapat well-planned yon. Na plano ng mabuti, inclusive, and equitable. Holistic and integrated into the bigger picture. So, ngayon, elementary pa lang, time will come, magkakaroon kami ng junior high, time will come, magkakaroon kami ng senior high. So, complete package na yon. Initiated and supported by community members. So, katulad ng binanggit ko kanina, hindi lamang ikaw ang may gusto o benefit to the community. Buong komunidad ang makikinabang, and of course, grounded in experience that leads to best practices. So those are the effective community development. Community development is a grassroots process by which communities become more responsible. Next, organize and well-planned, or organize and plan together. Developed healthy lifestyle options. Empower themselves. Reduce poverty and suffering. Create employment and economic opportunities. Achieve social, economic, cultural, and environmental goals. So, dapat yung community development na mangyayari within your community ang magiging ugat o dahilan para maging mas maayos ang inyong komunidad. Ang development plan na yon o yung community development that will happen to your community should bring out the best in each of the community member. Diba? Maraming matutuwa doon sa naging plano mo, hindi yung marami ang maiinis. Next, we have the types of communities. We have the formal, the informal, the urban, the rural, the global, the sectoral, and then the social space communities. So, a formal group is formed when people come together to accomplish specific goals and objectives. So, yon. An informal group is formed when two or more people come together to accomplish a specific task which is mainly socially geared. Balikan ko ang una. So, kapag sinabi nating formal group, maraming tao ang involved na kung saan they have these specific goals na kailangang ma-accomplish. Samantalang sa informal, dalawa or more na nagsama-sama to accomplish a specific task which is mainly socially geared. So, this is an example of informal as well as formal group or community. No? So, nakafocus siya. Tingnan nyo tong picture. So, pwedeng magsama dito ang formal at informal group of people or communities. Next, are you familiar with this picture? Nakakita na kayo ng ganito? Okay, saan? So, this is what we call urban communities. So, once we say urban, the term urban simply refers to the region or area which is densely populated and possess the characteristics of the man-made surroundings. So, ito ang man-made surroundings sa sinasabi. So, saan tayo nakakakita nito? Diba? Sa mga high-rises condominiums. Makati, Ayala, diba? Quezon City. So, Taguig, sa global, di ba? Yung mga high-rises buildings na kung saan naandyan na lahat. Naandyan na ang pamilihan, naandyan na ang mga opisina, may eskwelahan, and others. Okay, next. This is a global community. So, from the picture, kapag sinabi natin global community, hindi lang isa, dalawa, tatlo, or apat na bansa ang involved, kundi marami, di ba? Within the globe. So, a global community are the people or nations of the world considered as being closely connected by modern telecommunications and as being economically, socially, and politically interdependent. So, bawat bansa ay merong kaalyadong bansa. So, ito yon. No? So, yung global sector. So, as with this one. Ito naman ay ang tinatawag nating sector community or community sectors. Can mean a number of different things. So, this is a picture of a community sectors, but there are different examples such as health sectors, the education, and others. Okay, how about this one? Ma'am, ang sarap naman pong magkape dyan. Oo, di ba? Ang sarap magkape. Is this a community? Yes, this is a community. And we call it a social space. So, this is a physical or a virtual space such as social center, online social media, or other gathering place where people gather and interact. So, yon. So, ibig sabihin, pati pala yung sa labas ay meron ding matatawag na community. So, those are the different communities. So, ano ang hindi ko nabanggit? Ang hindi ko nabanggit ay ang rural. So, once we say rural communities, eto, yung lugar natin ngayon is what we call rural, no? So, this is a complete example of rural communities. So, this is all for our Quarter 1, Week 2. Congratulations, everyone!